Hello, this is Dean Takahashi with VentureBeat here, and I'm with Jonathan Mack of Queasy Games of Toronto. And first ran into Jonathan 4 years ago at the Independent Games Festival when he was one of the winners of the contest there and won for a game called Everyday Shooter, right?
Yep,
yeah.
that's the one.
So that's a long time ago. So what you been working on all that time now?
So after Everyday Shooter, I hooked up with this local musician in Toronto called I Am Robot and Proud. He has a real name. His name is Sean Hand.
Cool.
And we worked on like a whole bunch of prototypes, just like music-related games and stuff. We must have made like 10 of them over a couple of years. But none of them really like we were really super happy with. We kept like anteing up the project goals. Like
so that's a lot of discipline. You did worked on 10 games without shipping any, right? So wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of depressing too, but but I think this one's super cool.
But here we are. This is interesting. We're here in a gigantic Sony sound stage. So we're here at Sony for a reason, right?
Yeah. So you know, I get my times mixed up. But I think it was like a couple years ago. We had one prototype that we just called Sounds Shapes, and in it, you know, it's like a musical platformer basically. You play it like a platformer, but all the music in the game is actually elements in the game. This is really hard to explain unless you see it. But there's no like background music. It's not like you know, Everyday Shooter had like a backing track, and then you would shoot things and you add sounds to it. But every single thing in this game, in Sound Shapes, is creating that music. And so what's cool about that is you can go in. There's like this. You can actually make your own songs and your own levels super quickly, and then play through them. And since like the level is the music, and the music is the game, it's sort of one and the same. That's I don't know. That's really.
So you're like making a song as you play the game, then.
Yeah. Well, and you can like make a song, and then you know share it with your friends and see how they play it.
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Cool. And you're like a little ball, I guess. Is that what you call it? Like a little roll?
You're a little sticky ball. You can stick to surfaces and roll around them. You can interact with certain things, like there's bounce pads where you can like bounce on them, but it remembers like the sequence you bounce on them, so it sort of records as you're playing. It sort of records a little bit of what you've done.
And if you get hit by anything red, you're toast, basically.
Red is bad. Currently, in this version, red is bad.
And so Sony is publishing this game, huh?
Yep.
Okay. And do you have a target for how long when it's coming out yet? Any this year or next year or something? You don't. Okay. And then for NGP, how did you sort of get hooked up with Sony on NGP, the new handheld?
Well, we went to pitch our idea to them. We didn't know about the NGP, so we did it. So we pitched it. So you know, they looked at it, and then a month later they were like, "Hey, why don't you fly down to Santa Monica? We want to show you something." I was like, "Okay." You know, I can buy a PS3 at home. I don't need to. So I went there, and they were like, "Yeah, we're working on this, you know, portable called NGP. We want to make a game for it. Why don't you put this game on NGP?" So it was like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Brand new Sony platform there. Yeah, very cool. So wow. So you're going to be busy shipping this. Do you have ideas for other games as well, or any of those 10 games that you might want to go back to? Or?
Yeah, I have ideas for them, and the 10 previous prototypes, some of them were super cool, but right now I'm just focused on Sound Shapes. I really want to make that super great.
Cool. That's Jonathan Mack from Queasy Games. Thank you very much.